What do you mean when you say that the word means something? And what does it mean when you say that you mean something? While these two questions are frying your brain, I remind you that the English verb to mean has two main meanings. To signify, as in, what does this mean? And to intend to convey something, as in, what do you mean? And Greek has a different word for each. As a Greek learner, the first verb denoting meaning that you come across is σημαίνω. Σημαίνω means to signify, and the English word semantics is derived from it. Σημαίνω introduces the meaning of a word, phrase, sign, symbol, action, or situation. In the overwhelming majority of cases, you encounter it in the third person, mostly in the singular, and less often in the plural, σημαίνει or σημαίνω respectively. It can be used on many different occasions, for example in informative statements like η αγγλική λέξη ass σημαίνει γάιδαρος και όχι κάποιο μέρος του σώματος, to prevent certain misuses, or in aggressive questions when you catch your comrades plotting against you. Τι σημαίνουν όλα αυτά? Is there any other way to say to signify? Yes, although slightly more colloquial. It is the phrase θα πει, literally, it will say, and even more colloquial, πάει να πει, literally, it's going to say. Τι θα πει όχι? Τι πάει να πει δεν θέλω? Το όχι σημαίνει όχι και το δεν θέλω σημαίνει δεν θέλω. Άντρας θα πει να ξέρεις να μαγειρεύεις μόνος σου. Αυτό πάει να πει πως εγώ ακόμα είμαι στην εφηβεία. After you've advanced a bit in the language, at some point you'll come across the verb εννοώ. Εννοώ denotes the intended meaning of a person's words or gestures. In other words, it introduces what the person wishes to communicate through what they have said, written or gesticulated. Τι εννοείς θα αργήσεις? Εννοώ ότι ακόμα δεν έχω καν σηκωθεί από το κρεβάτι. Όταν λέει ο άντρας της ζωής μου, δεν εννοεί εσένα, αλλά τον σκύλο της. Is there any other way to express one's intended meaning? Yes, through the structure θέλω να πω. Literally, I want to say, or, if you prefer, I mean to say. Δεν καταλαβαίνω τι θέλεις να πεις, Hildebrand. Θέλω να πω πως δεν σ' αγαπώ πια, Ραμόν. The only difference is that you cannot use θέλω να πω to refer or allude to something, just like in the last example with εννοώ. The way the verb to mean is used in this sentence can only be expressed by εννοώ in Greek, not by θέλω να πω. If the distinction between the two verbs seems difficult for you to understand, you can remember that we use σημαίνει for something inanimate, in other words, not a living being, and εννοώ for something animate, in other words, a living being. Well, not exactly any living being, only people, unless you're discussing what your cat meant when she meowed, or what your cactus was trying to tell you when it pricked you.
Okay, meow again.
Let's see how the two words are contrasted when sharing the same sentence. Το γεγονός ότι το λέω γελώντας δεν σημαίνει ότι δεν το εννοώ. Αυτό που λες δεν σημαίνει αυτό που εννοείς. Εννοείς πως η λέξη ass σημαίνει κάτι άλλο? The verbs σημαίνω and εννοώ have other functions too, that they're seen in more formal language. In this video, though, we're only featuring the uses that pertain to meaning. Other languages feature the same distinction as Greek. For example, our beloved Latin squad. Our dear Scandinavian lot. The revered West Germanic coalition. Not you, English. The highly esteemed Slavic Association. And an honorable mention from out West Europe, from the Turkic branch. And of course, there are languages that make no distinction, just like English, for example, Mandarin. In case you thought I had something against the Anglo-Saxons. It's worth noting that French, Italian, Spanish, and Portuguese use a phrase that literally translates to "I want to say" to convey the meaning of Greek "ennoώ" and show what a person is intending to mean. Greek does the same with "θέλω να πω," but there is a difference. These four languages can also use this structure for the meaning of σημαίνω. In other words, it can also introduce what something signifies, whereas Greek "θέλω να πω" cannot. On the other hand, Greek shares a similar pattern with a language spoken on the Faroe Islands, since both of them have a separate word for σημαίνει that introduces what something signifies, but they also use a synonym that translates to "it will say." Technically, you could argue that at some point in time, Greek also used to have a phrase that was in fact used for both meanings, since "θέλω να πω" and "θα πει" share the same origin, and were most likely the same phrase ones, given the fact that "θα" is derived from "θέλω," although that's a topic for another video. Stay tuned. Right, that's it for today, and let me know if your language distinguishes between these two meanings, or if it has any different pattern. I'm George. Until next time, let's make Greek a bit more difficult.